The drivers going out onto the circuit then. It's the Rotax International Open 2015, brought to you by RGMMC. I'm Chris Hartley, and I'm very much looking forward to this junior pre-final with a full grid of 34 drivers ready to go for what will be a race held over 11 laps of this 1.3 kilometre long circuit. There then on the screen is your grid, and it shapes up like this. Number 16, Nicolas Scholl on pole position. 31, Axel Charpentier alongside. So it's the Austrian and then the French driver. On row 2, we got Tom Gamble from Great Britain, number 54, and Perdana Minang from Indonesia, number 38. Row 3, 2 British drivers, 46, Scott Simmons and his teammate, 78, Jonathan Hoggard. Row 4, another British pairing, Luke Ide at number 117 and Mark Kimber, 47. Row 5, we got Zianis Levinsky from Belarus, number 58, and Yu Young Sun from China, number 115. Row 6, Ville Uito, number 119, and Hugo Anderson, 39. Row 7, Kilian Meyer, number 45, and Laurie Lepper, number 81. Row 8, Matthias Pilker, number 67, and Ruben Del Sart, number 100. Row 9, Andreas Essner, number 28, and Tom Canning, number 44. Row 10, Matthew Latifi, number 118, and 107, Valters Zvidris. Row 11, Andrea Schimpf, number 56, and Adam Ateki, number 25. Row 12, Justus Yunusich in number 122, and Antoine Percival, number 33. Row 13, it's Tamer Kaman Shashi, number 83, and Sebastian Essner, number 90. Row 14, Charles Anderson, number 61, and Madeline Radner, number 86. They were the drivers that automatically qualified, and then the 6 at the back of the grid came through the second chance heat this morning. So on row 15, it's Mai Majala, number 112, and Andre Volta, number 114. On row 16, Oscar Palomo Ortiz, number 99, and 111, Zomba Kovacs. And the final row, row 17, Joachim Gallas, number 123, and Michael Rossiner, number 121. The drivers then just up at the top hairpin. Turn 9 coming out of there now and bunched up, ready to go into the last corner. And then eyes focused on the start light, ready for the start of the race, the rolling start. Nicolas Scholl, can he continue this perfect run of form? Let's find out as they get underway in the pre-final here. It's a good start from the pole sitter, a very good start from Axel Charpentier, and then up the inside, that might be Tom Gamble that squeezed through. A little bit wide on the apex to turn 1 was the pole sitter, Nicolas Scholl, and he slipped back into the pack down to about 7th place as a result. So it's Tom Gamble through into the lead of the race. Scott Simmons is second. Jonathan Hoggard has come all the way up to 3rd place as well. And then just behind them in 4th place, it looks like Luke Ide. 5th position is Zianis Levinsky from 9th on the grid. So it's all change at the head of the field. Nicolas Scholl got off the line well, but then slid wide through the apex. We've got Mai Majala, I think, number 112, that's been in a bit of trouble and has dropped back to the very back of the field, but is still going. At the head of the pack, though, it's side by side for the lead of the race, and there could be a change here. Tom Gamble has given the place up. So into 1st place now as they come through at the end of lap number 1. Is the number 78 card of Jonathan Hoggard, but he loses the place again on the way into turn 1 as Tom Gamble gets him back. Hoggard down to 2nd. Scott Simmons 3rd. Gamble is a bit wide through the 2nd turn and he's losing the place again. So for the 3rd time in 3 corners, the lead changes. Hoggard back up front. Gamble in 2nd. He's going to go for it down the inside into turn 4. Gamble back into 1st place. Jonathan Hoggard gets a little love tap from his teammate Scott Simmons, who runs deep, and Luke Ide then goes through and sneaks up the inside to get into the top 3, but Luke Ide in the blue colour scheme running wide then, loses a couple of places, a bit of bumping and boring. Luke is on the outside and gets hit by somebody else who's hit by somebody else, and that has broken up the pack, so the top 5 break away. Luke Ide, a bit unfortunate there, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but he's still just about in the top 10, I think. So there is the race leader, number 78, Jonathan Hoggard, but now he will give a toe to Tom Gamble and Axel Charpentier, who's made his way up to 3rd place. And Gamble goes for it down the inside. Charpentier follows him. The Strawberry Racing drivers go 1st and 2nd. Jonathan Hoggard for KR Sport is 3rd. His teammate, number 46, Scott Simmons, is 4th. And at the back of the lead group, now is number 119, Ville Uito, in 5th place. Gamble runs wide. Hoggard goes through. Charpentier goes to the head of the pack. So Charpentier out to 1st place now. Gamble's dropped from 1st to 4th. It's changing on every single corner. This is unbelievable racing. So into the lead now, it's got to be Scott Simmons, I think. So Simmons up to 1st place by the looks of things. And Charpentier down to second, Gamble third. Gamble on this lap alone has been first, second, third and fourth, I think. Absolutely ridiculous racing from the juniors. We're not even at the final yet. This is just to get the grid slots for the final. Through go the leaders, and Charpentier up the inside again. Goes through ahead of Hoggard. It was Hoggard with his nose in front at the end of the lap, not Simmons, so it's Hoggard. But then Charpentier gets him and Gamble follows him through. Lots of slipstreaming here. Right, give you the order again. It's probably going to change in about 2 seconds. But here's Charpentier in the lead. Gamble in second. Having a look at the inside. He runs deep into the corner. And then we got Jonathan Hoggard getting past him. And a change just behind for fourth as well. Scott Simmons has got back ahead of Ville Uito. So Simmons had dropped to the back of the group. But now he's making his way back up to fourth place. Whew, going to run out of breath in a minute. We're not even a quarter of the way into the race. Top 5 together. Hoggard, Charpentier, Gamble, Uito and Simmons in that lead group. And what about the 2 behind as well? Nicholas Scholl, the pole sitter, is in 6th place. With him is Giannis Slavinsky, number 58. And those 2 are going to catch this lead group pretty shortly. As Jonathan Hoggard leads over the line this time. Tom Gamble follows him second. Axel Charpentier runs out wide and he's going to drop to the back of the group in 5th. And then it's got Simmons who comes through at turn 2 to go second. Lap charter's nightmare this. Every time you try and write it down, bang, it's changed. What about Tom Gamble at the inside from 4th? He's going to go 3rd. He's going to take Axel Charpentier with him. Gamble and Charpentier have worked well together this weekend. They did this in 1 or 2 of the heats yesterday as well. They worked together and battled against others. And when one pulled off a move, the other one tucked in behind him and followed suit. Wow, so Jonathan Hoggard leads the way. Scott Simmons second. The 2 KR Sport drivers, then the 2 Strawberry drivers with Gamble and Charpentier. But look, everybody's caught them up now. We've gone almost the top 10 together because they've been fighting so hard. The sort of circuit where you can't get away from anybody else, really. Hoggard leads. Simmons in 2nd place. Will he go for it here? No, he won't. Behind him in 3rd place is Tom Gamble. And 4th place is Axel Charpentier. 5th with the dark race suit, Ville Uito. And then in 6th place, Giannis Slavinsky with the blue suit. And then it's the pole sitter, 7th place now. For Nicholas Scholl, there's more action up at the hairpins. Going to be a change here for 3rd place. Surely Scott Simmons clinging onto the inside line. But he will end up losing 1 place to Tom Gamble. He could have lost 2 or 3 there, so he did well to only lose 1. So it's Hoggard that leads. Gamble's up to 2nd now. Scott Simmons is 3rd. Ville Uito has come through to 4th. Giannis Slavinsky in 5th place. So Charpentier has dropped back to 6th position after all that swapping and changing. Through they come out of turn number 10. We're halfway through the race, about to start the 7th lap as they make their way into turn 1, and Tom Gamble just out drags Jonathan Hoggard into turn 1 to get the lead of the race back. The top 4 glued together. If they fight each other for a lap, you're going to have another 5 carts on the back of them as well. 9 of them going for the lead of the race. Gamble from Hoggard, from Simmons. 4th is Uito, and Hoggard up the inside. Gamble trying to go around the outside and misjudges it and gives 2 places up. So Scott Simmons goes 2nd, Ville Uito goes 3rd, and in trying to brave it around the outside, Tom Gamble just left the door open. Oh, then there's contact with Uito. Gamble runs into the side of him, and that's broken the top 2 clear here. Luke Hyde might be the one that comes through, I think. No, it's Giannis Slavinsky that comes through to still 3rd place. So that has, again, split up the pack here. So they're going to drop back as a result of that contact coming out of turn 7, the left-hander. And it's leaving the top 2 clear now. Hoggard and Simmons, the 2 teammates for KR, working together from 5th and 6th on the grid. They now lead the race, 1st and 2nd. Hoggard, Simmons, Slavinsky, as I say, is up to 3rd. And Nicholas Scholl has come back up to 4th place now. 5th is Axel Charpentier. 6th is Mark Kimber. And then down to 7th for Tom Gamble. Laurie Lepper 8th, Luke Hyde 9th. Ville Uito had the brunt of that bit of contact, has dropped down to 10th place. We have got another 3 laps at the end of this one as well, but the 2 leaders are about 1.5 seconds clear now of 3rd, which is Giannis Slavinsky. Giannis will be, I think, pretty satisfied if he stays 3rd. From 9th on the grid in the pre-final, if he can be 3rd on the grid for the final and have the nice inside line, he'd be a happy man. So here are the top 2 making their way out of the last turn. 78, Jonathan Hoggard. 46, Scott Simmons. Is Scott going to go for it and get pole position? Or does he settle for 2nd place, knowing that he'll have a difficult start to the race in the final? Tricky this, because he's up against his teammate, and if the 2 of them should have a problem, there's going to be a very unhappy team boss. So these 2 got to work together to a point and give each other room. Scott Simmons goes for the inside line and goes through. turn 4 to get the lead and points forward. Follow me, Jonathan. Let's just work together. And Jonathan Hoggard down to second place now. They just did 52 zeros, as did Giannis Lewinsky in third place, but 51.8 for Nicolas Scholl in fourth place. So he's the quickest driver in the top 4. On that sort of pace as well, he's Axel Charpentier in fifth place. So now it becomes about the battle for third and that crucial grid spot for the final. And Nicolas Scholl is going to try desperately to get up into the inside. The leaders go through onto lap 10. It's the penultimate lap of the race. Been fascinating so far. And the top 2 are together. Third, fourth and fifth are together as well. Giannis Lewinsky, Nicolas Scholl and Axel Charpentier. Tom Gamble is coming back at them as well in sixth place. Seventh is Mark Kimber in the blue and yellow colour scheme. Eighth is Laurie Lepper. Padana Menang, who dropped right back on the first lap of the race, has just got back into the top 10. So Menang up to 10th place. And Ville Uito is trying to come back in the order as well. After running third at one point, he tumbled down the order, but he's 11th now, just outside the top 10. So the top 2 together. Then we got a train of 6 karts battling over the final podium position here. Not that there will be a podium, it's only the pre-final, but metaphorically speaking, to get that crucial spot. We got one off of the inside from the last lap that's come to grief, but it's none of the front runners at turn 10 as they begin the final lap of the race here. And at the inside to go third is Nicolas Scholl. So Scholl goes third, he's taken Charpentier with him, and Gamble goes past Giannis Lewinsky as well. So Lewinsky drops from third down to 7th place. At the head of the pack, Scott Simmons still leads Jonathan Hoggard. Charpentier is third now. He's got back ahead of Nicolas Scholl, who gets a clip from his teammate, Tom Gamble. He's sent deep into the corner. Nicolas Scholl gets another clip from behind from Giannis Lewinsky up at the right-hander at turn number 5. It's getting a bit brutal out there in the battle for fourth place. There's no problems for the top 2, though. Just a few corners to go for the race leader, Scott Simmons. Jonathan Hoggard there in second place, cruising around. And Charpentier will round out the top 3. And then a battle for fourth, but with only one corner to go now. And this for pole position for the final. Scott Simmons from 5th on the grid wins the race. Jonathan Hoggard second. Third across the line, Axel Charpentier. Tom Gamble 4th. Nicolas Scholl comes home 5th. Giannis Lewinsky was 6th across the line. And then 7th, Laurie Lepper. 8th for Mark Kimber. 9th place for Padana Menang. And 10th place for Luke Ide. What a race that was, especially the first 6 or 7 laps. Absolutely breathtaking. Lost count of how many leaders we had. I think Simmons, Hoggard, Charpentier, Gamble and Scholl all led the race at one point or another. But it's Scott Simmons who comes out on top. And his last lap time was his best lap of the race. And likewise for Jonathan Hoggard. So they were still flying along, even though they had a gap back to third place. The fastest lap of the race went to Tom Gamble, 51.600 seconds. So it was a proper battle. That's a precursor of what's to come. If you think that was lively, wait till you get to the final. That was absolutely brilliant. So Scott Simmons is the driver that wins the race and will be on pole position for the pre-final later on. Justas Jonasic, the Lithuanian driver, just to report, received a time penalty in that race, a 5-second time penalty which dropped him down the order. On screen you can see the results. Simmons, Hoggard, Charpentier the top 3, Gamble 4th, Scholl 5th, Lewinsky 6th, Lepper 7th, Kimber 8th, Menang and Ide 9th and 10th. Yu Young Sun is 11th, and Mai Majala did really well to come through to 12th place from the back of the field, from 29th on the grid to 12th place for Mai Majala. Ville Uito disappointed in 13th, Zomba Kovacs 14th, and Tom Canning then at 15th, with the rest of the runners inside the top 24 there on screen. And then we'll see the rest of the tail enders then. Not too many didn't finish the race. 32 finishers from the 34 starters. Andre Volta was the one that dropped out at turn 10 with a couple of laps to go. And Sebastian Estner dropped out very early on the first lap of the race. So well done to Scott Simmons on pole position for the final this afternoon.